Although it's flat, it still exists and occupies a space, and it has all the properties of a three-dimensional image because it has all the rules of photography. You know, the single viewpoint, all the perspectives, the two-dimensional rendition, really, of a three-dimensional drawing, which is what a shadow is. This one, funnily enough, is not entirely flat because it didn't take long before I started bending things again, but essentially it's a flat two-dimensional artwork which, when you turn it round, it gives you the mirror version. It's a reversed. I've sort of exploited the mystery of visual language, the visual. You know, my sculptures, for instance, play with the difference between what's real and what's not real, and I love that. The distance that this piece is away from the wall gives you a soft shadow, because the softer the shadow, the more it becomes like a skin rather than a transparent grid. In other words, it simulates, because it's slightly out of focus, it simulates a continuous form, whereas the material I use is mostly empty space. The shadows that you can get can actually be so in focus that you can't tell the difference between the sculpture and the projected shadow. If you take a blank canvas and you interrupt the purity and the regularity of it, that's how a painting or a drawing begins. It really is like working with an invisible medium. Although you can always see it, whatever lighting conditions. In natural light, I can model up the sculpture, but in artificial light, the results look quite different. So really, it's a balance throughout the day working on a piece. I have to understand how it's going to look in all sorts of lighting conditions. Normally, I choose one strategic light source from one strategic viewpoint to produce a very specific image, which is exactly like a single viewpoint that a camera would use. When you see the actual sculpture, it will look at you. But when you see the shadow, it's asleep or meditating. I've been blind in this eye since I was 6 years old, and I sort of remember having double vision at one point. I don't have 3D vision, so actually I see like a camera. This is probably one of the most optical sculptural media or techniques rather than tactile. It's drawing in 3D is literally what it is. It has the power to suggest that it doesn't exist. The thing that actually attracts me to primitive art is they seem to have a presence greater than what you could rationally expect. And I think it's that I've always wanted to have in my own work. I've worked with this medium for 30 years or more. People are just amazed at what I produce. Human beings are capable of finding meaning in virtually anything, and that really is a tribute to the human psyche and the human imagination. We can create a language out of anything. To be able to find meaning in something as banal as a piece of wire bent in 3 dimensions. To understand the potential beauty of it.